What I was thinking about is, as we know, Dubai is probably one of the most saturated markets in terms of like food and beverage and restaurants and so on. So, but you guys have been going for 8 years. That's rare. That's not, there's very, you can probably count on like your hand how many restaurants have survived past like 5 years. It's very transient. People come in, they try a big concept, it doesn't work, and they leave. So how have you guys been able to stand out in such a saturated market and in quite competitive areas such as the IFC as well?
You're absolutely right. And I'll pick up now on the story and the history. So it all started with that research. It wasn't really because I enjoy Spanish cuisine or I love a certain style of service, or it started with, first of all, a belief that the restaurants that were doing what they were doing on that fine dining scene, on that high luxury level, are obviously doing a great job. And that's that. We need something that is different. Yeah. So DIFC was missing a different experience. That's what we thought. Spanish cuisine was underrepresented at that time. That Mediterranean, that modern tapas restaurant from Barcelona, that feel was definitely missing. Casualness, yet refined casualness was definitely something missing. So yes, people liked to go to the known names and the restaurants, and obviously they're all my neighbors and they're all my friends. Yeah. And they do what they do. They do an excellent job. But people want a slightly different experience. And that's what it all started with. It started with this idea of a casual space. Modern tapas restaurants from Barcelona were the inspiration. Okay. But then offering really good quality food and beverage and service without the fluff of fine dining, without tablecloth on the table. Yeah. A slightly more relaxed vibe from your staff, slightly friendlier, slightly chattier. So those were the bases. Okay. I did not come and say, oh, this is the cuisine that we're gonna do, and this is the menu, and this is the name. I didn't come up with any of this. All I came up with was the ethos to the brand, the ethos of the brand, the direction behind the brand, and then started picking and selecting people to work with based on their understanding of this small brief.
Okay. How did they perceive that ethos that you're talking
exactly
about?
So met with it started off with building the name, building the brand, building the personality. Sure. So I had to have something. So that's where it all started. And I always wanted to work with more local, not necessarily some of the high-end branding agencies, but someone that was really creative, have done something kind of similar. So found these fabulous guys. They're still in market, called North 55. Okay. And they really got it. They picked up on the things that we wanted to build. And we came up with a name together. We came up with the name Boca. Boca means mouth in Spanish. It also means mouth in Italian with a different spelling. That was the idea. The idea was to represent for instance, that Mediterranean coastline of Spain, France, and extending into the Italian Riviera. That was the idea. Yeah. Obviously in French language that wouldn't mend, but you know. And we wanted obviously a short name, something that people would pick up on. It's catchy. The O is also a play on the word, so the O also represents the mouth and the O also represents the olive and the olive oil that is important in Mediterranean cuisine, and also hence the green color of Boca. So there, all these small stories, but it all grew organically from that part. Yeah. We then pitched this to these amazing guys, Bishop Design, and it was at the time when Bishop Design was also starting to make some noise, so I could afford them at that time. So we asked them to develop the interiors for us, given this branding. So it kind of grew up from there. They also took a lot of elements from the brand and integrated into the entire restaurant. That's how we built the little skeleton. And then I spent time in between Barcelona, Nice, and a few towns in Italy to try to find the right people that would help me build this. Okay. Again, with the same ethos, explaining to them what we're trying to do, what we're trying to achieve, the kind of experience that we wanted people to have, and then let them bring in their expertise and their knowledge and feed into it and own it. So this way, when I found my partner and my operations manager, Ricardo, in Barcelona, he brought in that element. When we found the chef who was already here in the city, he brought in his element.
Sure.
When we brought in the bar manager and the service guys, they all brought in something to the table. Yeah. So what we ended up with is this project that grew from the ground up.
Yeah.
And it was the sum of the contribution of all of these guys. So what we had is something really unique.
Yeah.
That is very different. You know, anyone can come in. There are no secret recipes, right? There is no one formula that you can take and apply. Anyone can do it.
Yeah.
Right? Everything is available. All knowledge is available out there. Experience is there. But I think what was unique about Boca and what helped us with our longevity right now is that fact, is that we brought in something totally different to the IFC.
Yeah.
Something that wasn't meant to be short-lived. We weren't targeting. We weren't here to make a quick buck. If you can make one in F&B, it's terrible. But we were here with people. We were building this for people living and working in not in the UAE, but in DIFC and Sheikh Zayed and maybe downtown. That was our target.
Yeah.
We wanted to target the people working in the financial zone. Those are our customers.
Yeah.
And today, first of all, 50% of my customers come to Boca 3 times a week.
That's amazing. That's such a good return rate.
Our tourists make up maybe not more than 15% of our guests. So we really built it with people in mind.
Yeah. And it sounds like from what you've said, the importance of putting together the right team is probably one of the biggest reasons that it's been able to be successful this long and to last this long. And I love that you went to all the different countries and brought in people with such different experience and from those countries that fit into what the brand of this is, because I think that's so important and that's what makes it so authentic. You know what I mean? Like you said, it's not the recipes. You can find good food, you can find good recipes, but when it comes down to the experience and the authenticity, that's only people that you're going to find that with. And one thing that you said when I was looking at the core values about being professional and consistent, it's like, and what you said, what I love what you guys said is like, we're not here to give you the best once in a lifetime experience, but we're here so that every time you come here, you're going to have a good experience. And I think that I've been here myself and I have had a great experience. So I think you guys have achieved that amazingly.
Fabulous.
So congratulations on that.
No, thanks.
And coming back to I love how you described it as refined casualness, because that's what it is. That's the feel that you get when you come in here, and it's more relaxed. Because around here, like you said, it's all more fine dining. It's a bit more bougie. So like, it's really nice to have a place that you can just kick back and like, you know, have a beer or like enjoy whatever.